I love it. Okay, last weekend
So
we went
sugary
fishing
goodness.
with our buddy Jake. Jake's family does a family fishing trip every year, a men's fishing trip. It was fantastic. We went to Blue Lake in Eastern Washington. We also fished Banks Lake, right? That was behind it.
We
Is
did
that
not.
what
It was Blue Lake, Park Lake,
Park Lake.
and
And then
Jameson Lake.
Yep, Jameson. We were just on that tiny shore right
Yep.
there on the corner. But
we got hauled out in a boat, dropped off,
Yeah.
and it was like, all right, guys, well, you got chairs, you got beers, and you got fishing poles. You're good.
we were there for 3 days. Colin and I didn't catch a single fish. I think we were with 7 other people, the 2 of us and 7 other people.
Yep.
And I think there was 12 fish that were caught over the 9 of us. I think 12. At the most, 12.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
That were caught between the 9 of us. I think that
And
all of the...
Jake, he got one fish from every lake.
Yes.
I was like, how do you
Yes.
do that?
And I think that the old timers decided that the lakes just weren't stocked this year the same way they were because of COVID, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Because the fish that were caught were close to
Massive.
twice the size, from what I understand,
Yes.
of a regular rainbow trout.
Massive.
They were beautiful fucking fish. Huge fan. So,
Let's see if it shows
and
up.
I didn't
Oh, damn.
realize. So I had a lot of frustration over that weekend because I didn't catch any fucking fish.
Yep.
And we were there for 3 days and didn't catch any fucking fish.
Yep.
Right.
Welcome to fishing, by the way.
And ever since then, I've been like, that's like all I can think about.
I'm so happy.
Shooting and fishing, like that's what occupies my mind now. And
See, then we'll give you a year or two of this, and then we'll get you indoctrinated into hunting, and then it'll be hunting, fishing, and shooting. That'll be
Yes.
your whole life.
and I wasn't sure why I was so focused on fishing when I felt like I got such little reward out of it. But really, I got little tangible physical reward out of it, right? Like I gained a lot out of that experience that I think will just take me time to unpack and unfold. One of the things that I realized made me want to continue to fish is I want to be good at that. Not that I did poorly, but the tangible physical outcome of it was so limited that I'm like, I want to be fucking good at this. I want to kick this thing's ass and I want to accomplish it. And so I started watching some videos and reading some stuff, and the world of fishing, stupidly, it's just so much larger than I ever even
It is massive.
considered that it would be. And I was saying that to Jordan, and she said, well, it's one of the oldest activities in history. I was like, okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Like, this is people have been doing this longer than almost anything else, you know? Very few things have we been doing longer than catching fish with some type of stick and fucking hook and whatever.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Yeah.
I'm going to
so-
introduce you to a new podcast, by the way. Not new, but newish. And it's from the Meat Eater Network.
Excellent.
It's called Bent, B-E-N-T, and it's a couple of guys from the crew, but it's just about fishing.
Yeah.
And it's informative, hilarious, and incredibly entertaining.
Love it.
It's great. I think it comes out weekly. It's a great show.
I also
All sorts of little tips and tricks you can pick up. It's great.
It's very complicated, and all of the names and all of the jigs and wedding rings and fucking all of the shit, you know. Yeah. So we went to Sportsman's yesterday, and I was walking around and just kind of trying to get my bearings a little bit, and then I'm looking around. I was like, no, this looks familiar, and then I was like, this is all fly fishing shit. And like, so I had to like go. Yeah. So it even took me a minute to figure that out, and then I was trying to decide. I text you guys like trying to decide what hooks I should buy, and like I just didn't even consider that.
There's a lot, man.
That's how it would be when I went in there. So I got a nice little basic setup. Got just like some different, like 2 different size weights and a couple different size hooks and some beads and
some beads?
I got some.
I got to get some more beads.
Some trout beads. These ones are a little bit bigger there, so they're supposed to look like eggs.
Ooh,
you know? Yeah.
nice.
So I'm excited.
Anything that gives you an edge, man. Them fish are stupid and smart.
Got some bait. Got some line. I also was thinking, because one video that I watched, the guy was talking about fishing with worms, right? And putting the worm on there, and he was talking about making sure the hook doesn't go out of the end of the worm because the fish can see it. Right?
Interesting.
So the whole time that I was fishing, I also was like pushing the bait as far onto the hook as possible because I didn't want it to fall off.
Having that.
So I was like, maybe that was part of the reason I didn't catch any fish. Is I had the end of the hook. I don't know how true that is. But
Yeah, because I always do the same thing. I keep it so that hook end is just exposed enough, but like not like sticking way the fuck out. But Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea. So I'm gonna try it. Yeah, we're thinking about trying out just some local fishing tomorrow, see what's going on. But
there you go.
Excuse me. Yeah,
Yeah, you could probably go right off the pier down there.
Yeah,
I'd certainly imagine that would be just as good as anything.
Exactly.
Might want to check the tides.
See
I don't know how far that low tide goes out there.
Yeah,
I think low tide is roughly in the middle of the day these days.
I'm gonna cook those trout tomorrow too.
Mm.
So yeah,
I gotta get that smoker up.
I want to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to be like, I want to have some fucking fish today. Go down, get some fucking fish, come home, cook that shit.
Boom.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I decided so.
Yeah, I think we both decided while we were there that if it came down to it, and we had to fish to survive, we would not be in great shape.
No, not that weekend. We'd be dead.
We'd be dead.
If we had to survive, we would be dead.
Mm-hmm. Such good times.
Something else I want to talk about.
Okay.
New program started in the last 2 weeks in Washington State.
Oh, boy.
Joints for jabs.
Joints for jabs.
I'm not against it. We, at least at its core, we smoke weed on this podcast all the time.
Yep.
You know that we aren't against it. It does make us look like a bunch of fucking idiot assholes, though, that's what we have done with our state is joints for jabs. They're talking about beers also. We also started a local lottery for the state, a vaccine lottery. There's going to be 4 giveaways of $250,000, and then one final giveaway of $1 million of leftover COVID relief money. I have been fucked up by this ever since I heard about it in Ohio. I don't understand. It seems like it should be legal to me. I don't get how Larry was like, they're just dispersing funds at that point, which makes sense. I understand how that's the deniability of like, nah, it's all we collected the tax funds and now we're dispersing. Yep, we're distributing it the way that we see fit.
But
fuck you.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
But only to the people that are going to be a part of that class.
Yes.
If you are, for some reason, medically incapable of getting the vaccine, you're just not allowed to be in this drawing.
Of all of the millions of dollars that have been given away, I'm going to say at least a few pennies is money that I earned. At least a little bit is money that I earned. I'm not cool with it. Not cool with it being given to somebody who decided they were going to get a vaccine.
Just
because they wanted to think about it less or take a more risky decision with their long-term health than I decided to make. That's ridiculous to me. I don't understand how it's legal. And isn't it also interesting? I'm going to ask Larry this too. Okay. One thing I was thinking about, I might have even asked you guys about it. When the bills are being passed, the stimulus bills, it's not enough. It's not enough. We need more money. It's not enough. And now we have millions of dollars to give away. We have all this surplus money that we have to give away, but it wasn't enough.
Oh, right? Let me pull up that Medium post.
Leftover billions of dollars the federal government is considering trying to use to offset the cost of the infrastructure bill. And Jen Psaki's like, oh, well, I just want to remind you, it's not that much. Like, it's only a little bit. I have a quote for it. So I'm repurposing $75 billion of leftover COVID for infrastructure. Quote, unquote, very minimal amount of pre-American Rescue Plan money. Funds are allocated, and it's just an idea. These funds are already allocated for something else, so don't really worry about it because it's just an idea. Just $75 billion of money that's unspent from that wasn't enough when we signed these trillion-dollar bills. Wasn't enough. Now we have $75 billion left over on the federal level that we can use to redistribute for infrastructure because we can't come to an agreement on how we want to do an infrastructure bill. It's insanity. $75 billion left over, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Last year.
So I'm going to pull up this Medium post
It's got me hot already.
From Jay Inslee here announcing the Shot of a Lifetime campaign.
Yes.
Over 100s of other prizes.
100s.
Welcome to the south of the streets, coming at you every